Are we ready?
Oh my gosh.
Are you ready for it?
Okay, T-Swift.
Summer House reunion part 2.
It was so good.
It was really good.
Mm-hmm.
They covered a lot of ground. Let's just go in order because I made my notes in order.
Same.
It ended off last week with Lexi or Ciara confronting Lexi about doing her press
and talking
about
her.
Ciara. Does Ciara realize that she's on a reality TV show and people are going to be talking about her in the media because that's quite literally their job and people are asking about relationships in the house? And to Lexi's defense, she never said anything derogatory or nefarious or bad about Ciara. She literally just said, I had a birthday party and like a certain 2 people didn't show up and then those 2 people were hanging out.
Fact.
That is facts.
Truth. Like, why can't she say that?
Why can't she say that?
Agreed. I think that there is an unrealistic double standard that Ciara does have about everybody else talking about everybody else and nobody allowed to be talking about her.
Yeah, it's wild.
Always been like that. And I understand where she's coming from a lot of the time because it is annoying to have these rumors being spread and things being said about you. But that is what you are on a show about.
Yeah.
And so like people are asking questions, they have to give an answer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I think she was upset at the fact that Lexi brought that birthday thing up and it painted Ciara in a certain light. But that's like people are going to draw their own conclusions about things that are happening.
Agreed.
Some people are going to be on your side. Some people are going to be on someone else's side. Like you're never going to win all of the votes and all of the people. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. And it was the same thing with like West talking about their relationship in that article.
Yeah.
Which I have yet to read. But
yeah.
God, I have to do that. Like keep my name out of your mouth, like blah blah blah. Like you're on a show.
And you're talking about other people too.
Like,
so
when you get asked about something in the house, you're gonna respond.
And when you sit in bed with Paige and Amanda, you guys talk shit about everybody. So like why is that cool?
On camera.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's just wild.
Yeah.
The girls, I felt at the very beginning of the episode, attempted to be nice to Lexi. Paige was saying like, I hope you didn't think like we didn't like you when you were coming in. And I thought Amanda was being very genuine when she was like, I wish you would have come to me.
I have that written, that Amanda was being genuine. I wish they had communicated more before because Amanda was a good support to her. And I kind of forgot that Amanda's the one that brought her into the house too.
Yeah.
So like they should have been having communication.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And I think what happened is Lexi immediately started to feel like she wasn't included in their little group and she was kind of an outsider.
Which is true. They close the door. They all sit in bed together.
Which is true.
Like, I would feel like that.
And the whole Jesse of it all. Like, because they're such good friends with Jesse, I don't think she felt comfortable to go to them to talk about what was happening with Jesse.
Agreed.
Which, like, fair enough.
Because they've all proven that they support Jesse. Like, they all make the jokes. Exactly. They all flirt with him. They all, like, they have a special relationship, too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, when Lindsay made her point about it became more about perception.
Yeah.
Like, I agree.
Agreed.
Part of it was perception, but also you're on a reality TV show. And so that is a huge
piece of it. Yeah. I was thinking like, oh, Lindsay has a baby and all of a sudden becomes this like wise mom. Like
she's like a therapist.
Where did this come from? And she's so fucking proud of herself when someone compliments. She literally sits a little taller, looks around like she loves her new role.
The best was Kyle was like, that's what I was saying. And she's like, shut up, Kyle.
And then Andy is like, you're mansplaining. And Kyle like, stop.
Yeah.
But it was cute too because Carl even complimented her and was like, yeah, that is right. Like, good job, Lindsay.
Yeah. Oh, I have things to say about Carl later on. It was strange how Imrul was like in and out so quick. It's like they brought him in to talk about his like sexual relations in the house and then Toegate, and then they're like, okay, Imrul's gonna be leaving us.
And also like I'm still confused about the whole Imrul thing. Like I think I just moved past it because there's other things to talk about, but what the fuck happened?
Why is he not a part of the reunion?
Something had to have happened because he was there for the whole season.
And they didn't show him. Yeah.
It would be more appropriate for Bailey to have been on as much as Imral had.
Yeah.
And then left. Like, he was part of the season and they cut it. So what happened?
Yeah.
Something that we don't know about. And I want to know.
I don't know. It is strange. I don't know if we'll ever find out. That's the frustrating thing.
I'm also thinking right now, remember how Jesse had been like in the press or like on a podcast or something? He was like, oh yeah, and there's going to be a big announcement at the reunion.
There was
Reunion's
nothing.
over.
That's the last thing I put in my notes.
I'm only thinking that right now.
Capital letters, there's no big announcement.
So what the fuck happened?
What are you talking about?
Ooh, that's weird.
Yeah.
I was crying laughing when Ciara was like, Lexi, do you think I'm stupid? Did you think I was going to date another stupid boy right after I dated West? I was like, oh my God.
When they, speaking of Lexi and Ciara, when they took a break and some people got up to go to the bathroom, they obviously keep the cameras rolling. And Lexi immediately, because Carl got up, so there was nobody
Gabby,
in between
Lexi,
Lexi and Ciara. And Lexi leaned over and was like apologizing to Ciara and trying to explain like what happened and why she was saying certain things in the press, and that she truly does feel like it's Jesse's issue and not putting blame on Ciara. I'm sorry, but mature queen. Like, she didn't have to do that.
No.
Ciara has given her zero kindness this entire season.
Yeah.
Do you remember scenes
really
when they were in the same room together? And I think it was Lindsay and Lexi talking about the whole Jesse situation, and Ciara's just like, staring at her, giving nothing when she knows that her relationship with Jesse is making Lexi a little bit uncomfortable, which is valid. Zero kindness. Zero. And
it's true.
And Lexi still leans over and says all these nice things to Ciara and tries to like mend whatever had happened.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say that like Ciara gets very hurt and very defensive, and we know this about her, and there's probably like a good explanation for why she is the way she is, and like as soon as someone even slightly wrongs her, she like puts up a wall.
Yeah.
I get it, but like it's hard to watch as a viewer of a reality TV show, and it's hard to like side with her,
especially when the person who's not in the wrong, Lexi, is so gracious and loving and kind, and she's like apologizing when she doesn't have anything to apologize for, and she's getting met with nothing.
Which, when Paige was like, I hope you didn't think like we didn't like you, I was like, first of all, Paige and Ciara are like, you know, attached at the hip in the house. They're best friends in the house. So obviously, however Lexi feels, Ciara feels about her, that is going to be attached to Paige as well.
Especially when you guys are in a room whispering together all the time, 24/7. Like,
yeah. So
I would feel like that too.
How could Lexi not feel like you guys don't like her? Because she had this issue with Ciara come up right away because of Jesse.
Yes.
And how like they gave her nothing.
Agreed.
To go off of.
I definitely agree.
So I don't know. Like, I just, when she did that, and I was like, she doesn't even think this is going to be on the show.
I know. Like, because it was a break. Out of the gracious of great. She's being gracious.
Yeah. Yeah. That was wild to me.
Mm-hmm. And really impressive also.
Yeah. Could never be me.
No. Definitely not me.
Could never be me.
No tie.
I'd be like, you fucking man. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not.
Okay, Carl and his teeth. I'm so sad.
And Gabby was mean about it.
That was so mean.
Really
I was
mean.
shocked
like,
at that
really
scene.
Mean.
Did that scene air in the show, or was that just like a unseen clip? I don't remember that. That was so
it aired.
Mean.
And no offense, but like Gabby doesn't say anything the whole fucking season, and that's what you say.
I know.
Mean.
I was shocked. I did not expect that from her at all.
And then her apology wasn't even very sincere. I'm just thinking like, she was like, you know, when I'm just heated and angry, like you just say things. Like that was just like something that I said.
When I talk to my girlfriends, all we do is talk shit. I was like, well,
just
there's
fucking
cameras.
Say sorry.
There's cameras rolling, and you know this is not just talking to your girlfriends.
And if someone made fun of your appearance, that you can't really help, like you would be livid, and it would be such a bad look for that person.
Yeah.
So like, just wear it and fucking say sorry. Like actually, I did not like that.
Carl is so like mature, and
I felt sad for him this
I
episode.
felt really like sad for him But
he's so sweet.
I truly feel like Lindsay still loves Carl and
For
wishes
sure.
that they were together, and she's still hurt that their relationship, like, he called off the wedding. And I think
he hurt her in the most hurtful way for her.
And I think it's changing now, but she was using anger as a coping mechanism for feeling hurt. But I do think she really, how could you not? Like, everything that he says, he's so respectful. Every time he's asked a question about Lindsay or like put on the spot about something, it's very respectful. And
even when she's like really giving low blows and digs, he takes the high road.
He has a reason to not be nice.
Yeah, I would not be nice.
And he is always.
And then when they show the scene of like the guys holding Gemma and he's like in the back like saying hi and like he melts when Kyle holds Gemma. I'm just like, this is literally so sweet. He's so kind and loving. And I think okay, I have a question. My mind just went 100 ways. Is there a world where they get back together?
No.
Never?
I don't think so.
Never.
I don't think so, which is sad. Like,
I want them to.
Unless that whole situation has kind of changed both of them and they have learned. But I feel like it's a situation where there's too much damage for it to be repaired. Yeah. It's too much emotional damage.
And I forgot that like Softbar is his whole life right now, and she really shit on Softbar. It would be nice if she went to the launch.
I know. And like be supportive. And
yeah.
It would have to start with them obviously becoming friends again. And
I hope they become friends again. They've been through so much. They've been through finger bangs, lots of friendships, a little bit of relationship and engagement. Like, you never know.
It's wild.
And
I knew that her and Turner weren't.
Yeah, because we've never ever seen Lindsay in a relationship not fucking 1000% obsessed.
Yeah.
Okay, so like we see her make a phone call here and there, but the phone calls are not intimate. They're not like lovey-dovey. They're not cutesy. They're like,
very logistical.
This is how I'm feeling. Yep, the baby's moving. Moving on.
Yeah. You're right. I didn't piece that together while I was watching the season. But now in hindsight, it's like, oh yeah, she was not. It was like you're calling a friend just to check in.
And if we think about like her relationship with Steven, like the sandwich guy, even like if he wasn't like, oh babe, I love you so much, blah, blah, like confessing his love every 5 seconds, she was raging. So like I think the fact that we don't even hear him say like love you and she's carrying his baby the whole season, like they're not together.
The whole issue of him being a very private person and her being a very public person, I never really thought about how big of an issue that would be in a couple, because it's one thing for him to be private, her to be public, but that's very hard to maintain a close relationship because she wants to share everything and he doesn't. Now you add a baby into that. So now what?
And you're not on the same page for that. And she was saying that, like, she was like, I want to share my life. Like, imagine how many like professional photos she has done and things that she can't do, or her business. Like, we all know that Lindsay loves a partnership. She fucking announced her pregnancy with a partnership. She could be doing so many partnerships with this baby,
raking in the dough.
And I think her business is being impacted because he doesn't want
1,000%.
Yes.
So how do you, so the mom wants to share the kid on socials, the dad does not. Now what?
I know. What do you do?
What do you do? Call a judge? Like, does you go to court? Like, how does that work?
I wish I knew.
That is such a tricky situation,
so
and it's
hard.
such like a new age issue to have, but I'm really curious how that works. Like, partnerships and sharing on social is her livelihood.
It's her entire business.
So can he just say no and now she can't share the kid?
Yeah.
Like, whose decision is that?
Agreed.
Oh my God.
That's
We should say, I wonder if there's ever been like a court case or something about that, because that's a huge thing.
I do know. Wasn't there like a child ban in the States? Because they're U.S.
No, like there's laws being put in place for kids that make money. Like the Ariana Bierman situation. Like the parents have to put it aside, and there's like there's which they would probably follow anyways, but the, you know, like child actors, they can only be on set for a certain amount of time. They have to have someone there, like blah, blah, blah. Like it would probably be the same
So
kind
then
of
that
thing
wouldn't play.
for reality TV anyways.
I did think it was wild that like nobody, so Amanda talks about this on Watch What Happens Live again too, that like nobody knew that they weren't together until the reunion. And then like that's what comes up at the reunion, like holy shit.
And she just says it so nonchalantly.
So casually. So obviously they haven't been together for a while. But then we find out that he's spending the night half the week and they're not seeing other people. So like I think we're not getting the whole story.
I think it's
because she wouldn't be so cool with that
I
either.
think it's just like what's working for them right now is that it's giving, because I'm watching Potomac, it's giving Robin and Juan.
Yeah.
Like they have,
I love that you're watching Potomac.
they built a life together. They live together. They're happy together. They're best friends, but they're
now
not.
Gemma has both parents.
Yeah, like it's
true.
just,
Yeah.
and it's hard to have a baby on your own. I'm sure
Very.
she loves having an extra like person to be support.
Totally. Agreed.
And obviously he wants to be there too.
Yeah.
So it just works. Like, yeah, maybe we're not working romantically, but this is what works logistically for us right now. It's not going to work forever.
Yeah. Like at some point something will change, but
yeah,
that's true.
But it does make it very difficult, because that's why Andy was like, or somebody asked, is he seeing anybody? Are you seeing anybody? Because like,
and they're not.
as soon as that happens,
Yeah.
then
It becomes
shit hits the fan.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I thought it was wild that Amanda shared that like one foot was out the door. Like her and Kyle were going to be donezo, you know? And they shared a scene from when it was that time. And I was like, holy shit, they were really rough for a while. And like, good for them for being vulnerable enough to share. Like they've shared a lot of their relationship and I actually really appreciate it.
Yeah. They are very real when it comes to like issues that people would have in a marriage and a relationship, and you can tell that they have done a lot of work together. And you know how people always say like marriage is work, like they prove that, like they love each other, they want to be together, but there are lots of issues. And even when Kyle talks, I was like he's piecing things together that most people can't piece together. And
That's
just
true.
the way he talks about their relationship and like the problems, it's like they're both aware of
Very
the
aware.
issues. Yeah.
And they don't sugarcoat anything, which I appreciate, because sometimes on reality TV or like in the news or anything, if you are in the public eye, people really are sugarcoating a situation and not really like,
because they want to appear a certain way.
yeah, because of perception, right? And they don't. On Watch What Happens Live again, like last night, Amanda is asked, like, when you were with Kyle in the early days, like he was with other women and with other girls, and you were upset about that and obviously talked about it. So how come when Jesse is like giving other women attention, you're not like supportive of Lexi? Like they were comparing the two situations.
Interesting.
Do you feel like, you know, there's a commonality there? And Amanda was like, well, he was actually hooking up with these girls. Like she was like ratting him out, being like, no, he was making out with them. Like Jesse didn't make out with anybody. And I was like, wow, that's like wild for you to like just totally absolutely bring that back up, like wear it and be like, look what we came through.
Most people wouldn't want to bring that up.
Absolutely not. And so I just really appreciate their honesty and vulnerability and that they're so like open.
Yeah. I saw this quote so long ago and it always sticks with me, and their situation made me think of it. And I don't know the exact quote, but it was something along the lines of like, don't spend all your time making a living that you forget to build a life. And that is,
it's so difficult here. Like you can see where his intentions are coming from. Like Kyle's like, I want to build us the best life that we can have. I want to set us up for success. He feels some type of responsibility to do that. Obviously, there's a driving force of that, whether it was like his family was like that, where the dad is the breadwinner or whatever. Like he somehow has this construct in his mind that that is his role and his job for a family that he wants so badly. Amanda wants love and time together for her family. And so those things clash, and they both have great intentions. They both want to have an amazing family. It's just so difficult when you both see that in a different way. And again, I appreciate them talking about that, because I think it's something that a lot of people experience and don't even understand to articulate.
yeah. Oh yeah. Because I remember when we were wanting to try to have a baby, or we were thinking about it, and I was like, well, I want to finish my PhD first, and then it was like, well, then I need to find a job and like make sure I'm like established in that job, especially in academia, because like you leave for a year and then people are like, where were you? Like, what's all your, So it was always something. It was like, well, I want to finish this, I want to do that. Well, Pre has to finish residency, and then he has to find like a staff position somewhere, and then we have to buy a house, and finally my cousin told me one day, she was like, there's never a good time. There's literally never a good time to have a kid, ever.
I remember somebody saying that to me too.
Yeah. So and then someone even told me, they were like, no, during your PhD is actually the best time to have your kid, because you take a year off, like you just put your dissertation on pause. Like there's never a good time. And so with regard to Loverboy and the business that he's building, I don't like, what is that endpoint? And I don't think people ever have an actual clear endpoint in their mind. Like, oh, when this happens, then we can have kids. Because once you get to that point, then it's going to be something else.
Yes. And that's what Amanda says too. Like once you, like he is saying, oh, I want to sell Loverboy. And she was like, well, once you sell Loverboy, there will be another thing that you want to do. Like the list will never stop, because your mindset is somebody who likes to hustle, who likes to have something on the go. And so, I mean, it's good that they're having these conversations, but they do need to figure that out. I also think like the having kids thing and this whole conversation is a point of contention between them, because you can see Amanda immediately get like a little bit defensive and on edge, and Kyle also. And then when Amanda is like, I am ready to have kids with somebody who's ready to have kids with me.
Yeah.
That's not like Kyle's not ready. I was like, oof.
Which is a turn from that scene when they were having lunch or dinner, and she was like, I don't even know if I want to have kids.
I don't know if I'm capable of that, even if I want to do that. And Kyle so badly does. So it's this weird thing of being like, ooh, like I think they've been having these conversations.
Yeah.
And this is like a point of contention for them.
Yeah, that was I would like to hear more about their
journey,
because a lot of people don't talk about family planning and how big of a stressor it can be on a relationship.
It's beautiful
whether
that
it's
they talk
like
about it.
Whether it's like to have one kid, to have a second kid, to have a third kid, like people don't talk about it.
They don't.
And I remember asking a psychologist, because I've always gone like up and down with whether or not we have a second kid, and she was like, yeah, you'd be surprised at the number of people that go to therapy or counseling or to talk to someone because they're not on the same page about family planning.
Yeah.
It's a huge thing.
It is.
And you can say like, oh, when you go into a relationship, you should be on the same page. Like, I want 3 kids, I want 2. You don't know until you have one.
And things change.
Yeah.
And
you could have fertility issues. Like, it could be so many things.
Of course, other things come into play. Maybe you have a new career. Like, there are so many pieces.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Spritz?
Spritz Society versus Loverboy.
I go, oof, the Spritz thing. And Paige is like proving that Craig is wrong. It's crazy to me.
This whole
my
episode,
God.
when Paige discussed her ex and like all the things that happened, I really, because before, not that I was on Craig's side, but I felt for Craig, and I'm really happy that they asked Paige all these questions at the reunion, because she doesn't really talk about it, and she doesn't like go online and talk shit.
She's not starting
She just kind of like
shit.
moved on.
Yes.
So when
agreed.
he asked her all these questions and she was able to just answer, I was like, you know what? Everything that Paige said about the Spritz Loverboy thing, about Craig being kicked out of Amanda and Kyle's wedding, about the scenario of how they broke up and like that timeline and what happened, I 100% believe her.
I was here for the honesty. And I can appreciate that she was really trying to maintain some type of privacy and respect at the beginning. Like her Giggly Squad episode, so respectful, beautiful. Like I think she was still being kind of supportive of Craig.
Yeah.
But then Craig really took it to, like, I'm a big Craig fan, but he really started to try to paint her in a bad light, not disregarding the cheating allegations, like kind of hinting towards the wedding ring. All these things he was saying were painting her in a bad light. And she never stepped out to be like, well, you're a piece of shit. Like, she didn't do that.
No.
But when asked, and your job is to answer, she's answering. And I think that is
And she wasn't
good.
answering in a dramatic, like,
No.
I'm just trying to get, like, clickbait headlines. Like, she was just to the point, like, straightforward. This is what happened.
Did think it was really fucking funny when Kyle says that when he checked in on Paige, she texted back Team Loverboy.
He almost starts to cry.
Because this argument hits home for Kyle. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Kyle has been holding on to this for a long time, and he's been waiting for support, and no one has given it to him.
Yeah.
So for this to be a scene in the reunion, I think he's happy
I freaking
to
love
have
that.
an icon like Paige support him. Makes him happy. It's just very funny.
Yeah. And everything that came up, I was just like, oh my gosh. Because I always think back to that day when I listened to that Giggly Squad episode where she talked about their breakup, and I was like, wow, she's being so respectful. Like, they still obviously care about each other so much. Like, it was such a good, all she said was nice things about Craig.
She handled it very well.
Only had good things to say. She was like, he's like the best boyfriend I've ever had. Like, I just want him to be happy in the future. Like, it just didn't work out. It was like chef's kiss. Perfect.
Agreed.
And now this is where we're at.
It was a little bit wild. I was shocked that they talked about the wedding too, and Craig being kicked out.
Yes, because that's always been
a question, and I've always been like, that is weird. And to be fair, I've always just assumed that Kyle never really liked Craig that much. They've always had a bit of a tumultuous relationship, and Kyle kind of used his power at his own wedding to be like, fuck you, Craig, and it became a storyline.
Yeah.
Now to actually know that he was like kicking tables, yelling at people,
and it was
into Amanda's parents'
at
house.
Their parents' house, yeah.
Oh my God. I was like, this is fucking crazy.
And I'm surprised because when Paige talked about that happening, I was like, I'm surprised you stayed with him after that, because that's a huge, like she said,
And
it
this
was
is your best
so
friend.
embarrassing. And she said, like, he always has put her in those situations where she's embarrassed but feels like she has to
Support
make
him.
excuses for him.
Which I can understand when you're in a relationship with someone. Like, that's hard.
Yeah.
Paige not saying Craig's name anymore. Amazing.
Yeah.
And she kind of smirks when they ask about it. Like, she's trying to have a straight face, but you can see her smile, and it just got me. I was like, you go, girl.
I know.
Iconic. But yeah, Andy saying that BravoCon's going to be interesting. I was like,
what are they going to do?
I hope they're on the same panel.
So at BravoCon, they have a whole section, which is so cool, of vendors set up. So you know how a lot of reality stars have brands, like Give Them Lala, Sewing Down South, Loverboy. Like, they all have booths where you can go buy products, and they'll go and like meet fans and stuff. So will Paige have a Daphne booth, and will Craig have Sewing Down South booth?
Yes.
Are they going to run into each other?
Will they strategically put them beside each other?
Like, if I was Paige and I was walking around BravoCon, like, I wouldn't even want to look around because I don't want to catch eyes with Craig.
You obviously would. That's wild.
It is absolutely wild. I would be so nervous to go to BravoCon. Not
Same.
that like they have anything to be nervous about. It's just like
it's just
awkward.
Yeah, it is awkward. Kyle's toast at the end made it seem like they're going to be back next summer.
I know.
There's all these rumors that they're not. But
then, so I wanted to bring up, first of all, there was no big announcement.
Yeah.
Then if you guys don't know what Dumois is, it is a Instagram account. They have a podcast. Anyways, people write in like anonymously, like tips and stuff about celebrities. And somebody wrote into Dumois saying that, and I sent it to Ariana because I was like, what? So they wrote in saying, things are about to get very interesting. We've got on good authority that a certain fan favorite is reportedly ready to sail off into the sunset with a statement about their departure expected soon.
Immediately, I think Paige.
I think Paige too.
Because she's got a lot going on. What does she need this for?
I know. I don't know. Anyways.
Sorry.
And then sources are also telling us that Gabby, Lexi, and Imrul are not getting asked back. I can see Gabby and Imrul not being asked back.
But not Lexi.
There's no fucking way they don't ask Lexi back.
Lexi's been in the hot seat
She's
entire
the entire
reunion.
show this season.
They would have to have Jesse and Lexi back, because then there will be, and they'll probably have two new single, a man and a woman.
Yeah. And then at the end it says, meanwhile, it sounds like Lindsay will be making appearances here and there, which she confirmed on the reunion. So is the rest of this accurate? So
When will they announce? I want to know.
we shall see. I thought they were going to announce at the
Because
reunion,
if it's
but I
only
guess
one
not.
person that's well liked, that's not going to be back. Like, it wouldn't be Amanda, because then it
Would be Kyle and
yes,
Amanda.
it would be both. I don't think West is going anywhere if Jesse's going to be there, and probably Jesse would be there. And I can't see it being Ciara. Like, wait, it's
But if
Paige or
Paige
Ciara.
left, would Ciara stay? I guess if that's your livelihood and your
Yeah, like Paige has other things going on. Like, she's on two. She can barely do it all, anyways.
yeah,
Like, that's the vibe that it gave,
yeah. And if they film in summer and she like wants to go on tour,
On
or
tour.
wants to do
Yeah. What if
things,
there's conflict?
Oh my god.
Who knows? That would be my guess.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Um,
And then if she does leave, is Bravo gonna pitch Hannah and Paige to have their own show?
That would be a dream.
But part of me
They already
doesn't.
have YouTube.
I can't. Yeah, but YouTube, Schmootube. It's not Bravo.
Agreed.
I can't see Hannah going back to reality TV though.
I know.
'Cause
But
she's
maybe
so
she would now.
against
Like,
it. If it's just her and Paige.
Yeah, maybe
and
if
they
it's not
follow
like a-
Giggly Squad and
yeah,
stuff.
and she's married now. Like, maybe because there's not that, like, it was weird when it was the romantic thing.
Yeah.
I am really excited. So a lot of people were saying how this season ended like different than all the other seasons, but they're doing something new this time too, where they're doing Summer House under the covers.
Oh,
So
I saw
next
this.
week-
Yeah.
Now that the reunion's over, next week there's going to be another episode, and it's all like unseen moments and things that have happened, and there's some funny shit. Like, in the preview I was like, this is cool.
Yeah, we'll talk about it during our news.
Yes,
Our beginning
excited.
news segment.
Okay.